Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law breaks silence on sentences. Chrisley Knows Best fans were shocked to learn Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law had surfaced. Speaking exclusively to Hollywood Life, Alexis Wilby has broken her silence on learning her former in-laws were going to jail for 19 years. What did Kyle Chrisley's ex-wife have to say about the situation? Keep reading for a summary of the interview. Todd Chrisley ex-DIL breaks silence on sentencing. Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law is certain the prosecution knew Todd and Julie were being dishonest about the situation. She recalled her in-laws being very tight-lipped. So she wasn't too surprised they refused to take any responsibility for their crimes. As TV show's Ace has previously reported, Todd and Julie Chrisley argue that they were set up. Likewise, Julie Chrisley has claimed she would never intentionally commit fraud. Is it possible they were framed or unaware of their crimes? Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law shuts down the idea that her in-laws didn't know what was going on. The outlet also asked Alexis if she thought Todd and Julie Chrisley received a fair sentence for their crimes. Admittedly, she didn't feel a drop of sadness for Todd and Julie receiving 19 years behind bars. In fact, she speculated the couple got off pretty light. Kyle Chrisley ex-wife, Instagram she continued. I think their sentencing was light considering their total lack of accountability. It's highly likely they thought this was also going to pass. The room in her heart for love for the Chrisley family is limited, but she admits she'll always have a fondness for Kyle, Lindsay, Nanny Faye, Chloe, and Kyle's mother, Teresa. At the end of the day, she does wish Todd would apologize to her for everything he cost her. Now, most Chrisley Knows Best fans assume Alexis Wilby was cut a check in exchange for breaking her silence on Todd and Julie going to jail. While her Instagram is public and has a following of a little over 13K, she hasn't spoken out about the family in a while. For years, the Chrisley family presented themselves as a polished Southern dynasty, carefully crafted for television audiences. But behind the glossy veneers and camera-ready smiles, storms brewed that could not be hidden forever. Now, one of the most unexpected voices is stepping forward, Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law, who has broken her silence on the prison sentences that changed everything. The unexpected voice. When Alexis Wilby, the former wife of Kyle Chrisley, first married into the Chrisley clan, she was thrust into the spotlight of a family that lived and breathed spectacle. At the time, Chrisley Knows Best was at its peak, a guilty pleasure sitcom-style reality show that made Todd a household name. Alexis kept a lower profile compared to Savannah or Chase, but she knew the family dynamics better than most. Now, with Todd and Julie Chrisley serving lengthy prison sentences for bank fraud and tax evasion, Alexis has chosen to speak out. Her words aren't coming from a place of bitterness, she insists, but from lived experience, the kind of perspective only someone who was once inside the Chrisley bubble can share. Not surprised but saddened. In a candid sit-down, Alexis admitted she wasn't shocked when the guilty verdicts came down. I lived close enough to see how much was about appearances. The clothes, the houses, the cars, the show, it was all a performance. There was always this sense of trying to keep up with something bigger than reality. So when the legal troubles caught up, I can't say I was surprised. Saddened, yes. But surprised? Not at all. Her words cut through the noise of speculation. While fans of the show have spent months debating whether Todd and Julie were scapegoats or schemers, Alexis painted a more complex picture. They believed in their own story. Todd especially. He could talk himself into almost anything. He truly thought he was invincible. That's why this hit him so hard. Life inside the Chrisley bubble. Alexis didn't shy away from describing what life was like under Todd's constant gaze. It was like living in a house made of mirrors. Everywhere you turned, there was a reflection of what Todd wanted to project. You couldn't just be yourself, you had to be part of the brand. That's exhausting. It's why I had to step away, even before everything with Kyle and me fell apart. Her reflections shed light not only on Todd, but on how the family dynamics shaped every decision. Julie went along with a lot, but I think she was torn inside. She's a strong woman, but her loyalty to Todd made her overlook things that maybe she shouldn't have. It's hard to go against him. He can be charming, but also intimidating. Compassion for the kids. While Alexis is outspoken about Todd and Julie, she reserves her deepest empathy for the Chrisley children. Savannah and Chase were born into it. They didn't choose the cameras, the expectations, or the obsession with appearances. They were raised to believe this was normal. Now they're left to pick up the pieces, and I don't envy them one bit. She especially mentioned Chloe, the granddaughter Todd and Julie were raising before prison. My heart breaks for Chloe. She's young and already been through so much. Losing stability, watching the adults in her life go back and forth, and now seeing the two people who raised her locked away. Her compassion
That's heavy for a
extended
child.
even to her ex-husband, Kyle, with whom she's had a complicated relationship. Kyle's had his struggles, no doubt, but at the end of the day, he's still a person who got caught up in the same whirlwind as everyone else. I hope he finds peace away from all this chaos. Breaking the silence. Why now? Why speak up after years of silence? Alexis admitted she wrestled with the decision. I didn't want to be seen as someone capitalizing on their downfall. But I also think the narrative out there has been so one-sided. Todd still finds a way to control the story, even from prison. I wanted people to hear from someone who lived it, but doesn't have anything to gain from protecting the brand. Her decision to speak out feels almost therapeutic. For a long time, I carried around anger, confusion, even guilt. I thought maybe I wasn't strong enough to survive that family. But now I realize walking away was strength. Speaking my truth is strength. And if it helps even one person understand that what they saw on TV wasn't the whole story, then it's worth it. The future of the Chrisley legacy. As for what's next for the Chrisleys, Alexis doesn't mince words. I don't think Chrisley Knows Best is coming back, not in the way people remember. The illusion has shattered. You can't package up fraud charges and prison sentences into a family comedy. That chapter is closed. Still, she believes some family members might reinvent themselves. Savannah's already trying with her podcast. Chase, too, he's young enough to carve out his own path. But Todd? Todd will never be satisfied unless he's center stage. And prison doesn't allow that. That's going to eat at him. A lesson in image and reality. Alexis ended her reflections with a warning about chasing appearances. This whole saga is a lesson for anyone watching. Don't believe everything you see on TV or Instagram. Perfection doesn't exist. The more someone tries to sell you the idea that they've got it all together, the more likely it is that something's cracking underneath. Her voice carried the weight of someone who had once been inside the illusion and barely escaped. I'm not here to celebrate their downfall. I don't wish prison on anyone. But I do hope this is a wake-up call, not just for the Chrisleys, but for anyone who confuses image with truth. Because eventually the truth always wins. Closing thoughts. Todd Chrisley's ex-daughter-in-law may no longer share the family name, but her words strike with the clarity of someone who lived through the show, the spectacle, and the shadow it cast. In breaking her silence, she not only sheds light on the Chrisleys' downfall, but also reminds the world that behind every picture-perfect frame, there may be fractures no one wants to see. As the Chrisleys continue to serve their time, Alexis's voice joins the chorus of reality TV revelations. A voice not of revenge, but of truth. And in a world built on image, truth may be the most powerful disruption of all.